Hey, critics, and welcome back to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. I'm your host, Patricia Hartley. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. We are live on this Friday, April the 25th, 2025. Hey, critics. It's time to chronicle. Now, up first, y'all, let's talk black on the cover. Let's go ahead and start with Esquire magazine, where Caleb Williams is gracing the cover of the April-May issue. TV Guide magazine has Cheryl Lee Ralph as well as Quinta Brunson, and perfect timing because Cheryl Lee Ralph actually just received her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And I did a special episode, which I've linked in the description box so that you can check that out. Quinta Brunson was also there as one of her guest speakers. So shout out to Cheryl and congratulations again on your wall, on your star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Also, Athlon Sports actually has Shador Sanders as well as Travis Hunter on the NFL 2025 issue. I know the draft happened. Was it yesterday? Oh my gosh, judge me, y'all. Y'all know I'm not into sports like that. But no matter what, I like to tell y'all who is black on the cover of these magazines. Essence magazine is also now officially on Hoopla. Initially, if I ever mentioned Essence, it was because I subscribe to the magazine, which I still have my magazine subscription. Shout out to Essence. However, it's officially available now on my library's Hoopla. So I'm excited about that. Tyra Banks graced the March April issue, if you hadn't had a chance to check that out. And then for the Essence May June issue, they're specifically talking about Hurricane Katrina and how New Orleans learned to fly. Shout out to New Orleans. Love that city. And while typically y'all know I would highlight a few books, instead I want to highlight the fact that this month is the month for World Book Day, which was April the 23rd. Oh. It was April the 23rd, well, World Book Day. But side note, I gotta say this. Last year, like at the end of the year, actually, so like December, like a mentor actually sent me a book that he thought that I should read, and I carry it around in my purse to casually refer to it. I didn't tell him that I technically had listened to the audiobook before, but it is different. I told y'all when I have the physical book. How about this, y'all? I recently had an interaction on World Book Day, by the way. And we just so happened to be talking about books. Now, at the time, I did not even know, I promise you, I didn't even know that it was actually World Book Day. And me and this individual happened to be reading the exact same book. Not only was we reading the exact same book, but when we pulled it out of our bags together, we realized, like, oh my gosh, like, it was like the same version and everything. Not a big deal. I get it. It's not a big deal to some people, but to me, it was like synchronicity. You know what I'm saying? Like synchronicity. What are the odds? What are the odds? Yes. Shout out to all the folks who don't mind carrying an old fashioned book with them. Okay. An old fashioned book. Okay. And speaking of books, y'all know that National Library Week was April the 6th through the 12th. If you didn't know, I'm letting you know right now. And all of the magazines as well as the books that I mentioned today is sourced through Hoopla and or Libby, both free streaming platforms made possible through our local library. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so excited today. I actually finally got what I consider to be sort of my new studio area set up. I'm no longer in the location I was previously. So I've officially gotten everything set up. I went to my storage unit, got the appropriate table that I want to have. And so I've been able to set up where I'm set up right now. And so I'm excited about it. And I would love to be able to turn it into like a studio, but I'm still working on that part of everything. But I said all that to say I'm just kind of in a different space. So if you notice a little bit of different energy, that's a part of it because I'm excited. I don't know if you noticed on the previous episode, but my microphone was a little wonky. And I had to use a microphone that I hadn't used in a very long time because the microphone and the soundboard that I have right now, it was acting up for ever since the episode before the last episode. It's been acting up since then. So I did a lot of troubleshooting. It still didn't work out right. Got a new cord, and that new cord actually helped. So I'm guessing that maybe I had a shortage in the cord and maybe didn't notice it. Who cares? It's fixed now. I went through all of the things. But I said all that to say my energy might be a little bit different, but I'm shifting things. And as I'm building when it comes to, the podcast slash YouTube space, I just want to share that out with y'all. Okay. Well, now it's time for me to stop talking to y'all about the problems and give you some content, because here at the Critic Chronicles, our goal is to provide quality but juicy content from websites, digital magazines, and tabloids, most of which are sourced from our public library. Research from the National Library of Medicine show that there are an estimated 17,000 public libraries nationwide, totaling 4 million visits each day. Public libraries are civic organizations that are committed to providing invaluable resources beyond books that are free and open to the public. Get your library card to access thousands of resources today. Now, critics, let's go black on the inside of Life and Style's May 5th issue. Shout out to Coachella, anybody who went, anybody who attended. There was a lot of folks who actually performed. I can't even remember everybody, and forgive me, I did not write everybody down. I think it was like Missy Elliott, T-Pain, some folks that back, that 99 2000, not quite, but you know what I'm saying? Like during them early 2000s era, they had some top hits, maybe even a little bit in the 99. Was T-Pain? Oh, don't worry about it. I don't know why I be trying to do stuff that I have not written down or talk about stuff that I haven't written down. But Coachella brought out a lot of stars, including Shabuzi, who shared the stage with Noah Cyrus, and also Tyler, who was captured with Becky G on page 11. But Tyler also recently, didn't she have an issue about her outfit? The outfit that she had on, I believe it was like Britney Spears adjacent. Right? Specifically when Britney had the snake on stage, the famous thing where she had like the green at the top, the jeans with the green at the bottom, I believe, and then like, belly out, snake on the arms. I think it was that outfit. But people in terms of social media basically thought that it was inspired maybe by Britney Spears. So they called it out and said, hey, Tyler, or was complimenting her outfit. And Tyler decided that she was actually going to respond, y'all, and say, love her, but I just thought the outfit was fly. No inspo. Girl. Some people thought it was rude to just respond to an artist who just kind of like Britney, who's made such a big impact. However, the response has since been deleted. And that's the reason why I think Tyler may have felt some kind of way about, or maybe somebody told her that was not the proper way to talk about Britney Spears, or if your outfit looks similar, girl, take the compliment and run with it, because you can probably get more positive attention that way, maybe even gain a few more fans, okay? But some people seem to think that Tyler is full of herself, and this is not the first time that folks have called her out, but she's a very young artist who's finding her footing, right? But the fact that she deleted the response just makes me think that she wasn't proud enough of her reaction to keep it up, or somebody around her letting her know. They better tell you, Tyler, stop playing. Stop playing. Take any opportunity that somebody compares something, I feel like, to a previous artist that had such a positive impact in music. I think you should reconsider what you say. Quit responding. I'm just saying. Quit responding to get somebody else to respond, child. Or understand that stuff is going to happen consistently, even when it comes to your race, ethnicity, all of that. That's going to be something that constantly people are going to talk to you about or say something about. So get with Mariah Carey. She's had some of them challenges as well. Talk to her about it. See what happens. See what tips you can take from it. Because I think you need somebody to tell you what's going on before you mess around and mess everything up. Don't mess it up, Tyler. Don't mess it up, girl. John Legend and wifey, they were caught out on Paw Patrol in Santa Monica on April the 13th while attending an event for their pet brand called Kismet. Yeah, shout out to John Legend. They love this dog. They must really, really love the dog. Wendy Williams, speaking of loving, Wendy Williams, how you doing? She was caught out in New York City enjoying a meal with friends at what looks like a fancy spot with fancy sparkly desserts. If you haven't noticed, Wendy's Instagram, as of I think yesterday, maybe it probably was sooner than that, but I started paying attention really, like maybe yesterday or so. But her Instagram account has been on fire with information about her conservatorship, and she recently exposed, or whoever's keeping up with the Instagram page that she got, they recently exposed a doctor called Dr. Rami Kaminsky, Kaminsky, Kaminisski. One of them Iskies, okay, who apparently wrote the letter to Lori Schiller, who was the Wells Fargo financial advisor, saying basically that Wendy was incapacitated. Particularly, the letter said the following: Dear Miss Schiller, Miss Williams has been my patient for over a year now. Over the last 6 months, she has been unable to make reasoned decisions, and her insights and judgment are severely impaired. Sincerely. And then he put his name, Rami, or whatever the Insky name last is, and then I'm a medical doctor. All the credentials were there. Basically, quick and to the point to snatch Wendy's money or to give somebody else permission to snatch Wendy's money. Now, Wendy is still being observed, I think, under this conservatorship, and they have yet to basically assign somebody else to be her guardian. But that is the hope. The Free Wendy movement is still on the rise, y'all. People are still saying Free Wendy, and she's also sharing things on her Instagram of folks who are everyday people who are supporting the Free Wendy movement, whether you're doing dancing, whether you're saying it. She's basically sharing that out on her Instagram. And again, I'm not sure if it's Wendy that is running her Instagram account, but I will say somebody is running Wendy Williams account. And while I hope it's Wendy, child, the fact that they getting out the information, I know it ain't the Guardian. That's what I do know. I know it ain't the Guardian. My vote would be it ain't the Guardian. Y'all, speaking of Guardian, let's talk a little bit about Lizzo. She popped up looking proudly slimmer on SNL on page 15. The particular episode that Lizzo was on, I believe it was hosted by John Hamm. Yeah, and then on the same page we have David Arquette. He was actually caught out in a clown suit playing the role of Bozo the Clown. And I brought that up only because I had the privilege of meeting the original Bozo the Clown. He, at the time when I met him, he was actually 90 and still, like, you couldn't even tell this man was 90. Like, he was 90 and, like, making things happen, working actually in radio. And you know, when you work in radio, when you get to be like a certain age, sometimes you can hear it in your voice, and I don't believe that you can hear it at all in his voice. I want to give a shout out to the original Bozo the Clown, Mr. Alan Rock. And Mary J. Blige was caught out with Neo on the microphone, according to the magazine. They were at the Brooklyn Chop House, yeah, looking all cozy together, but not, of course, in that way, because we all know that Neo, he let us know that he's in relationships with several women who know it. And although he can do what he want to do, it sounds like they cannot do what they want to do. They have to be exclusive to him. I'm tripping? Let me know in the comments. Am I tripping? I think I'm right. I actually think I'm right. But if I'm wrong, y'all let me know. Yo, let me know. Speaking of let us know, Nas X. I feel like Nas X has been a little hidden. Like, we ain't really seen a whole lot, that's been going on. He was caught recently on the set of his most recent music video. Yeah, but in terms of hearing from Lil Nas X in like a viral way, I don't feel like I have. Maybe I'm rusty. Maybe I'm just rusty. I ain't been on the mic like this in a while. So, but I feel like it's been quiet with him. But he does have some brand new music up on his YouTube channel, including a song called Big Dummy, Swish, Hotbox, and Right There. And I think Hotbox has about at least 1 million views. The other ones they making a come up. They're slowly rising in numbers. Not like them numbers over at the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but it's doing something. Did I say that? I don't know where that came from. I don't know where that came from. Y'all, Michael B. Jordan is currently starring, in the box office blockbuster centers, which, y'all, I know y'all know this. You probably have already seen the movie. For me, I ain't seen it yet, but I've heard such great things. I gotta go check it out. Michael B. Jordan, as a reminder, was on the cover of the March issue of GQ magazine, which is available on Hoopla. Well, he also revealed here in the magazine on page 20 that he never receives gifts. He don't really be getting gifts from nobody. Side note, though, y'all, I liked Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey together. What y'all think? Am I tripping? I know they not together right now, but I did like them together. And I was going to try not to say this, but I've already started talking. You know how, like, your favorite family member finally finds the person that you connect with, so you want to keep that person with your family member because you like them and you feel that they fit in with you, not necessarily the family, but you. Have y'all ever had that happen? Like, right? Like, maybe sometimes you typically be like, no, I wouldn't do that, but you connected so well with this person that you're like, nah, you need to keep this auntie. I want her to be my auntie. The other woman you brought over, child, I don't know. Or maybe you can be like Neo and I can have 2-3 aunties and they know about each other. I don't know. I got 2 aunties right now, y'all, and they don't even know it. That was a joke. That was a joke. They say behind every joke there's some truth. But shout out to my uncles. I just had to tell y'all that. Moving right along, they say that Prince Harry, as well as the Duchess of Sussex, Miss Meghan Markle, they're looking to reconnect with the royal family. If you're interested in that, be sure to read all about it here in the magazine, starting on page 29. And page 32 and 33 talks about the dolls, particularly the Barbies, and how many stars actually have their own Barbie doll. And I'm talking folks like Zendaya, who said, when I was little, I couldn't find a Barbie that looked like me. But now Zendaya is an actual Barbie. Now, I will say that I don't know if I had that doll connection that some people have of saying like I couldn't find a doll that looked like me. I didn't feel like that because I felt like we had the Kenya doll growing up. You know, the Kenya, just like me, Kenya. Am I singing it right? Making Kenya feel pretty makes me feel pretty too. Ain't that the? I don't know if that's that. If I remember it correctly, that was what the theme song sounded like, even if I don't have the words exactly right. But the Kenya doll for me, it made me say, "Hey, I'm represented, baby." And I just had a strong connection with the doll, right? So I didn't feel like I had that doll issue. For me personally, like growing up as a child. Laverne Cox also showed off her Barbie, saying I wasn't allowed to play with Barbies when I was a kid, and now she is the first transgender person to be Barbified, says the article. And believe it or not, LeBron James, he's made history by becoming Barbie's first ever Ken ambassador. You get it, Ken, like Barbie Ken ambassador, which was unbelievable and cool, he exclaimed on Instagram. And speaking of LeBron James, because we all heard what happened with LeBron. And the fact that there was this recent hoopla, not like the platform, but for real, like it was an issue that went viral after rapper Kevin Gates made this comment about the way the wife of LeBron James, Savannah, actually looks at him. If I have it pulled, I want to pull it up real quick so we can actually take a listen. But basically, some like folks over at Layla Tells It All, her channel, she believes that it's really just, it's a man crush. Believe it's a man crush, but I bet he wouldn't say that, right? I don't believe that Kevin Gates will admit that it was a man crush, but I will say this. This is what Kevin actually had to say after LeBron responded to him. He basically, I'll just sum it up. Kevin Gates said that he don't like the way Savannah look at LeBron. And she don't look at LeBron like the white girls look at LeBron. Because the way the white girls look at LeBron, which I ain't never noticed the difference, but he basically was like, the way them white girls look at LeBron. Now, a man saying that about another man's wife and the way she looks at him, I think that, personally for me, I think that's a little awkward. Not only did he make the comments, but LeBron came back and made a comment basically saying that, letting us know that Savannah was his queen. He ain't worried about peasants, and wherever she wanted to go, they can go there next. Okay. But after that, Kevin Gates just didn't have enough because he went courtside to sit at LeBron James' game. And I guess LeBron did not confront him because LeBron has a history, I guess, of confronting people that maybe say things that is, a little out of line. Because when Steven, is Hill his last name? I'm so sorry. I think I got the wrong Steven, but the Steven that's do the sports stuff that might do politics one day. Okay. But that's Steven. The one that's, I think he's one of the highest paid. Is he not the highest paid? He just got a huge contract. I hope he don't mess up that contract like Shannon Sharp did. Okay, we're gonna move right along from that. But basically, Steven made a comment about LeBron's son playing in the league, and LeBron confronted him. And I think Steven was on the second, first row, whatever, however it was, but LeBron did not hold back. But that's also his son. So I think, maybe some people thought, oh, you confronted somebody about your son, you'll confront somebody about your wife. But whenever Kevin Gates came to the game, it's my understanding that there was no confrontation at all. But this is what Kevin Gates had to say. And I think it's awkward for somebody to be trolling another man like that. But here we go.
I'm on my way to have coffee. Coffee spelled backwards is E fuck. And before we've had our coffee, we don't give E fuck about anything. But I just want to say one thing. The truth hurts, but it heals. And Braun, I love you because you my, and I already know she was just, you just gonna let him talk. Man, you had to, but behind closed doors, you, good game. But anyway, look, yeah, long as you being celebrated, I don't care who don't like me. Long as you being celebrated, that's all I care about. Cause you my, I love you. So I don't care if I gotta fall out with somebody I love to get the results. We're gonna get the results. But if anybody need, I'm a life coach and a guru. Y'all 24 hours. You smile. You smile at that black man. You smile at him. Hey, cause you know one thing. Today is Easter. You know what come with Easter, huh? They got a lot of buddies hopping around out here. Bum, 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 bum. They about to take a trip on their favorite rocket ship. So they got some buddies.
So that's basically Kevin Gates coming back to just kind of, I guess, say stuff maybe to the critics that was talking about the way he was. I would agree. It sounds very crushy. It's even his response right there sounds very like, "Oh no, we ain't gonna get into it, boo. I'm gonna let you know that I love you no matter what." Okay. Shout out to LeBron James for, in my opinion, I believe that he took the high road. There's a couple of folks, I think maybe some of his peers that thought, why you ain't confront that man? Especially when he came to the game. But good for LeBron. I think he says to himself, like, baby, we ain't gotta worry about it. Let's just do it. We don't have to worry about what they saying. Don't worry about what they saying. Okay. Some of my YouTube critics, including Layla, which I said believes that Kevin has a man crush, and I'm with you. I'm with you when you're right. Shout out to Layla. Layla tells it all. Okay. Just to add insult, actually, no, I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm gonna move forward to actually Viola Davis. She's on page 46 in a color coordinated Stella McCartney outfit during a London photo call with a helicopter in the background. Why do Viola always just look powerful and amazing, right? Viola is such an amazing actress. I'm so very, very proud of Viola, and everything she's in is always impeccable. So, yeah. Shout out to Viola. And let's move forward and talk a little bit more about these housewives. Cynthia Bailey, she is on page 48. She's looking happy and healthy in a beautiful outfit. And the segment on this page is called What I'm Into, which includes her beauty secret, which y'all won't even believe it. It's just Vaseline. She says it's also a good eye cream, it's a good hand cream, and it's just Vaseline is good for everything. She also mentions her favorite novel. It's called The Alchemist, saying that she has read the book like a million times. And of course, it's also available on Hoopla. And I believe, I can't tell you that the audiobook is. I don't think it's the audiobook, it's actually the ebook specifically that's available on Hoopla. The tune that it seems like Cynthia has on repeat is Kendrick Lamar's "They Not Like Us," or should I say "Not Like Us"? I just put the "they" in front of it. It just feels like it's a part of the name of the song, but it ain't. It's just called "Not Like Us." Saying no disrespect to Drake, it's just a great hype song. She's also watching The White Lotus right now, in addition to The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I heard the ratings were low from the critics over at Michelle ATLE and Brown's channel, but I do hope that they rise. I just believe the Real Housewives of Atlanta is they just going through an audience transition, kind of coupled with some changing times, an interesting economy, a new cast, and the loss of a longtime castmate, Kenya Moore, which many people feel like it's her own fault. Shout out to Kenya anyway. But okay, I will say this because some people act like they should just Real Housewives of Atlanta shouldn't be no more. I don't believe that that is the case. I believe that this show is still needed, it's still wanted, but there's just clearly room for improvement. Also, want to give a shout out while I'm talking about Housewives and Nene Leaks. I love your new YouTube show. I do not care if you were kind of finding your footing, when you interviewed Latasha from Escape, but I'm truly proud of the direction that your show is going, including having entrepreneurs like Pinky, who's the owner of Slutty Vegan, Carlos King. You've had Michelle Brown on. I'm just kind of looking forward to just sort of watching that journey. I see a lot of people also make comments, talk in your comments about how proud they are of you. I feel the exact same way. All of the housewives right now seem like they're also kind of getting YouTube channels, like even the ones who are on the season. And before, I don't remember it being popular like that. I remember Candy Burris being one of the only housewives that, in my opinion, sort of stayed consistent with the giving feedback about the show, inviting people on. She used to have that show called Candy Coated Nights that she used to do as well. Was that a podcast or was that a YouTube show or was it both? It may have been both, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people weren't doing that at first, but now in the last couple of years, everybody, it seems like almost every single one of the housewives, even Kenya, right? She's doing Kenya Confessions, kind of telling you her side of what happened, right? You got Shamia, who is one of the housewives. She has her own YouTube channel where she's vlogging, but she's also posting her music. You also got some alums working together, like Cynthia Bailey, who got that podcast show called Humble Brag with Crystal and Cynthia. You know what? I'll say this. I wonder why Cynthia didn't connect with Nene to do a show. Are they not on good terms? Help me out. And I don't watch the Potomac Housewives, but I will say if I was Karen, is that her name? The one that actually went to jail for too many DUIs or something? Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But during if I was her, I would basically journal my journey to sobriety and serving my time in jail. I would basically write about it and publish my book and right out of jail, right? I would come out hugging my dark chocolate loyal husband, okay? And I'd be touring like Beyonce mama, okay? That's what I would be doing if I was her. But I don't know a whole lot about her. I just saw that in the news about the DUI and the fact that she got what 1 year. They did not let up off of her either. They want her to serve. It seems like the full year, and I think she has another year after that. But that will be served either on probation as long as she finishes her 1 year term. Yeah, and that's what I think I got because I did not write that part down. That just kind of came out the side of my neck. But since I brought up Mama Tina, or should I say Beyonce, Solange, Kelly, Mama Tina is mama to a lot of people. I know she specifically makes sure to let us know that Kelly is like her bonus daughter, but she also has Angie, Beyonce, who is I want to say that's her niece, one of her siblings, kids, who is like the cousin to Beyonce, as well as Solange. And then I think she also carries the family's last name because Beyonce is actually Tina Knowles' family's last name. And so she wanted to, I think, keep it in the family. So she ended up naming Beyonce, to kind of carry on the legacy, I believe, of the last name. And maybe I got the story slightly, maybe that's not quite the story of why she named her Beyonce, but that is Beyonce is basically it's a family name. Yeah, and I will say this that Mama Tina's book also made Oprah's book club. The book was just released a few days ago on April the 22nd, and in my opinion, her book tour kind of works around Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour, which kicks off in a matter of days, less than a week away. But Mama Tina's American leg of the tour will include Houston, or should I say Sugarland specifically to be exact, which is right there on the outskirts of Houston, basically still Houston. All right, ATL, New Orleans, Chicago, as well as New York. And if you are looking for tickets, you can also check out Ticketmaster for details. I've also used one of my credits on Audible so that I can actually purchase the book myself. But again, it is going to be available as well on Libby. And you can actually go on and reserve the opportunity to check it out whenever it comes available publicly via the library. And if you miss y'all any of our previous episodes, no worries. I have linked it below. In the previous upload, we talk about the Hollywood Walk of Fame star for the iconic Sheryl Lee Ralph. Audio is also included, so y'all be sure to check that out when you can. And of course, as a reminder, April the 30th is the Critic Chronicles 1 year anniversary. And thus far, we have successfully achieved a good amount of goals. I'll talk about that in the April 30th episode. Thanks again for tuning in to the Critic Chronicles YouTube channel, where you get commentary reviews and tabloid news. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload.